You are never gonna believe this. Oh my goodness. Dali Mpofu. Yo. So anyway, I'm sure you heard by now. Dali Mpofu has left the EFF and has joined Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma. He has left the EFF. He went on SABC to make his announcement that he was leaving the EFF, and he's gone. He's gone. He joins a list of people that have left the EFF that include Floyd Shivambu, who probably opened the gates, and followed by Busisiwe Mkhwebane, who also joined him, and now Dali Mpofu is there. Who else do you think is going to leave the EFF? Who do you think is going to leave the EFF? Do you think Mboiseni Ndlozi or the current SG is going to leave? Or some of those members of the EFF who are serving in parliament? Will they leave their cushy government jobs and jump ship into the MK, where there is not really stability, or like maybe there is no, you can't be sure you're going to get a position? I mean, Floyd was probably one of the few people that has a lot to contribute to the MK, and hence maybe he was made the national organizer. Busisiwe Mkhwebane has been made to lead the province of Mpumalanga, and Dali Mpofu, obviously he's going to go and join the legal team. I doubt he's got an interest in going into parliament, but you never know in politics. But interestingly, peeps, is that Dali Mpofu has said openly on TV that he was part of the founding members of Umkhonto Wesizwe. And he says that him and Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Ntate Remogolo Zuma had met a couple of times, were the only two people that had talked and spoken about this formation of this party. And it was about probably 10 months before the launch that had this discussion just between the two of them. And he said that he went out and told the leadership of the EFF to come and participate in it. Yeah, so I'm not going to say a lot, because I want you to listen to what Julius Malema had to say. Because Julius Malema says that he did not want to meet with Dali. He did not want to hear from Dali. Even his wife was saying to him, Julius, this guy wants to say his goodbyes. Why is he informing you of his daughter's birthday? Why is he inviting you? Why does he want to meet with you? He probably wants to say his goodbyes. And so, but if you look at Julius, he does not look like he's pained at all about the departure of the legendary advocate Dali Mpofu. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the EFF is going to bleed more of its leaders, or do you think that from now on, Khofedile, or do you think Carl Nearhouse is going to go, or do you think Mboiseni is going to go? I want you to watch the next video. Listen to what Julius Malema had to say. These are two videos I want you to listen to. The next one I want you to listen to is that the former one of the former founders of the MKP, or the Secretary General, he calls himself that, because we all know that all the structures that were formed were not legitimate structures, they were interim structures. So I don't know how people can have titles of interim structures. Anyway, the man has now been going rounds to various platforms on TV and on radio. He's a former SG. He's saying that Dali Mpofu is lying. It's not true. Take a listen to this.
McDonald Matabe, has dismissed Mpofu's claims, and Matabe is now joining us here in studio. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Why are you dismissing this claim?
It's lies. In fact, President Zuma never wanted Dali Mpufo to be part and parcel of the formation of MK Party. I'm the one that spoke to him, and I said to him, like, President Zuma, the battle that lies ahead is beyond me and you. And the fact is that we are taking a name that that is associated with the ANC. The ANC is going to come to us very hard. So it is best that we involve Dali Mpofu with the processes of the administration and the documentation of MK Party, so that when that time actually comes, Dali Mpofu is abreast with what is happening. Besides, SC Dali Mpofu is already doing some of the work for you on pro bono on all of your cases around the country. He's always in the courts with you and all of that. So let's bring him. He then raised the aspect of EFF, and I said, yeah, it's a serious problem. It's something that we can look into and try and manage it as we go. So
I would say bluntly that he's a liar. Dali Mpofu was not part of the formation of Umkhonto weSizwe party. Maybe he's talking about the Umkhonto weSizwe veterans. Maybe he was part of that, but not the MK party. The MK party was formed by myself with other 6 comrades who I was consulting with when we wanted to start the registration of the party. Mr. Mpofu only came in when we were having, I think, a meeting after the launch in Hyde Park at Mr. Zuma's daughter's house. That's when Zuma introduced me to Mr. Mpofu, that this is the man that registered Umkhonto weSizwe. And that's when we started to engage about the formation of Umkhonto weSizwe. He was never there. He was nowhere until at that time. And the second time we met was in Pietermaritzburg, when he was preparing for the case to go and to defend Mr. Zuma for his case. From there, we were meeting. He attended all our meetings. He was there. He became member of Umkhonto weSizwe even before he joined Umkhonto weSizwe. Was most of the time, every time we had our meeting, he was there. And sometimes Mr. Zuma would ask him to share the meetings, but he was never a founder or anything else like that.
Well, Bongiwe, I think this is what I think they had planned well before the elections. You'd recall that even the EFF leadership itself, they spoke about uniting the black parties. That is why you had those meetings with all other smaller parties, for example, because I think the intention was to create an umbrella body which was going to represent this, and then they would fight the elections together. But I think they couldn't agree then, and then what they decided then was to say, no, that's fine. Let's then go and test our electoral strength, and then from there, then we come back, and then we team together, and then we see how we chart the way forward. Because in terms of looking at the scenarios, in fact, as I was speaking to Advocate Mpofo, he was actually saying they had anticipated that the ANC would get to where it is. So for them, they felt the ANC needed to then make a choice. Does it go with them or with the DA? So if perhaps they would have formed a bloc, they could have, in their view, persuaded the ANC perhaps to go with them. So that was the intention. That is the vehicle they were creating. But as you and I know, we did not anticipate the kind of results that came after the 29th of May. And that does appear to have...
Hey guys, welcome to it, man. This is another episode of the Free Ride Podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for commenting. I've been seeing your comments all across my platforms, the free ride platforms, and I appreciate you for engaging with me. I like it that you've liked, you've shared, you've made it your favorite videos on various platforms. I appreciate it, and I'm going to continue and give you a variety of content on this platform, not just politics only, but I'm going to talk about also things that are of interest to me, and maybe you might find them interesting, but if you don't, then that's also fine. But I appreciate it, man. So stick around, let's check out this video. Let's take it out.
On Dali Mpufo, we haven't gotten your reaction properly. Is the EFF falling apart?
It can't fall apart because you can't destroy that which you have not built. It is our own child, it's our own baby, and we will decide what we do with it. The EFF is the future, and it cannot be destabilized by opportunism.
And President Zuma, your relationship?
I don't have any relationship with President Zuma. We are political contenders. He's a leader of a political party. I'm a leader of a political party. That's where our relationship starts and ends. Where we agree on issues, we'll share a common perspective. Where we disagree, we'll disagree respectfully so.
And I quote, Zuma has humiliated over 50 million South Africans for years now, over Nkandla, over state capture, all sorts of criminal activities. We won't nurse his feelings when he continues humiliating us, end quote. You clearly don't see him the same way now. So what has changed? Because you moved from despising him.
And it's the same Zuma, yeah.
And that's the same man. And now, but he's being so revered by many of you, including Floyd, who has also uttered almost similar comments before about him.
Yes, you know, politics is something that maybe, I don't know how one can communicate this. There's a certain style in politics, you know, of robustness, which is understood. So I can call you all sorts of things, and then we go out here and go and have a beer if you drink beer or whatever.
So politics is not about truth and honesty.
No, it's not. It's not dishonesty. You are a representative of a particular view, all right. And the nature of the beast is that I can't beat you up, so I must be as robust as possible to disagree with you. You know, there's this guy who's Donald Trump's vice Vance, yeah. He was trying to explain this the other day, that look, because they do the same thing. They say, no, but you said Trump is the worst thing and he's a criminal and what. And, you know, he explained what his own journey was with that particular experience. But that's how it works. It's a robust, it's much like what we do in court. Because in court, it's a robust thing, but some people even think after you've said all these things and what have you about your opponent from there, and then they get surprised that you actually can talk and have lunch together and so on. So it's part of a discipline which is a little bit similar. I mean, where I grew up, it was boxing. In boxing, we beat each other up and so on. And then in the end, when your nose is this side, you hug. Yeah, and the same guy who did that. Yeah. So it's something like that. So there's former President Zuma is a very seasoned politician, so he always laughs when people come and they say, but this one said this one said this. He laughs his lungs out.
So to be clear, you didn't mean all of what you said then?
No, I don't mean.
You didn't mean it?
No, I'm not saying I didn't mean it. I meant it in the sense that...
In the context.
Because in the context was, for example, might have been that don't vote for him. So I meant don't vote for him because I didn't want people to vote for him. In that particular context, yeah.
Malema claims that Mpofu wanted to dissolve the EFF and unite behind a Zuma-led party. So the EFF Julius Malema claims that while Jacob Zuma was looking at establishing a political party, Dali Mpofu proposed dissolving the EFF and uniting behind Zuma. Mpofu left the EFF and joined the MK. So Malema said, no ways, bro. There is no way. Charlie. I'm not going to dissolve this party after that man. After and be behind that man. Besides, I mean, take a listen to what Malema once said about Jacob Zuma. during the chubby days of Malema, when he was still ale fresh, ale cuddly, ale mini oros, before his weight loss journey, what he had to say about Jacob Zuma. Take a listen to this.
And people say no, status quo for the sake of unity and all that. There will never be unity under President Zuma. He's very divisive. He's a divisive type of a leader who likes to believe in conspiracies. Sometimes he forms conspiracies himself. He forms a conspiracy and tells this one, oh no, this is what is happening. Something that he has formulated himself. And this one will go and tell this one. This one wouldn't know that this conspiracy comes from the president. He goes and tells the president, and the president believes him. The president has forgotten that actually he's the one that started the story. And then he's going to start telling people that the information came here, that this is what they are planning and all that. So that's the type of life we live in this country, you know. So there's no such a leader who can lead us into a more united country, a prosperous country, which claims its own, wealth, implement any program. So everything that he touches becomes a problem. So even if he agrees, he must go. He must just go. It doesn't matter. Even if he can come tomorrow and stand, in a stage and say Malema is the best leader, whatever, I will never agree personally that he should be, a leader of the ANC. He has got no capacity. Leave the rest. He can agree with you, but the capacity to implement and lead, it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. So, yeah. For him, it goes even beyond the political program. Just the capacity to carry any program. Maybe cultural activities, I don't know. But the political program, I don't think he has got what it takes. Yeah, but he's also too old. I think he must rest, man. He's getting more older by the day, so I think he has worked out nicely his pension. I mean, from president straight into pension, you are guaranteed a salary for the rest of